So good evening, and you're all welcome for this very special evening. We have two big celebrations, I would say, for the evening. My name is Magdalene Kasuku. I am a journalist based in Kenya, and I am happy to moderate this webinar. I welcome all of you. We are actually celebrating the silver anniversary for this NetOne Kenya. So it's a big celebration. And we thank God for this far that He has been able to bring us to be able to share a lot of things that we've shared in the past. I remember our last engagement was actually in May, and it was also a very good opportunity for us to share, to discuss, and to talk about that God has given us. And we are happy that we have one of our very own who is going to share with us a book. So I would really expect a lot of engagement from all of us so that in the next 45 minutes or so, we are able to at least share together. So before so much, I'll just open it up. I'll request that Marie Flo can join us by the opening prayers, and then we can pick it up from there. Marie Flo, please. Prayers.
Okay, good evening to everyone.
Good evening, Marie Flo.
Okay, let us entrust this evening to our Lord, and to ask to guide us, and also to unite us, and to guide those who are going to speak and to listen, so that it can His glory. Glory be to the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be. Lord, we
É uma associação internacional de profissionais, pesquisadores e estudantes de todas as áreas da comunicação.
It is a space to share experiences, training proposals, projects, and concrete actions that promote universal fraternity.
We accompany through the cultural products we generate in different formats, processes of peace, social action, and creative citizenship. Promovemos el respeto por la dignidad de cada persona y comunidad.
Estoy convencido que la comunicación es una herramienta vital para la construcción de un mundo más unido. Y ser parte de esta red me permite constatar que somos muchos los comprometidos con esta tarea.
Porque eu acredito que em tempos de polarização, a comunicação é capaz de criar diálogos, espaços comuns, espaços de comunidade.
This is where we gather and get to tell the whole world on the spirituality and the life of the Focolare movement as it was brought to us, the founder Chiara Lubig.
Na união de comunicadores para a construção de uma sociedade mais justa, equilibrada, inclusiva e equitativa.
I'm part of NetOne because it's a space for dialogue without borders. where we can achieve social equity communication.
Me da fuerza saber que somos muchos en distintas partes del mundo que queremos y vivimos por una comunicación que promueve el diálogo ante las grietas eternas, el valor de la persona ante la primicia, comprendiendo cada vez más la comunicación como herramienta de transformación social.
Eu penso que quando há uma política de cuidado na comunidade, provoca transformações sociais. Por isso, fazer parte de NetOne potencializa esse meu exercício diário.
I am part of NetOne because I believe that the media today can have a big impact on building a more united and peaceful world where brotherhood and respect among people are a priority.
Hello, can you hear me? Good evening.
Good evening. We hear you very well.
Yes, madam,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that video actually gives us the introduction of what NetOne has been doing. You've had the different impressions of people here and there, and it's a great thing. We are actually celebrating the 25 years and really looking forward to it, growing and ensuring that more and more, issues can come up, may continue articulating the different things that each one of us is doing in our different parts of the world, and also convening every now and then where we come and really share together what is the fruit of, our encounters, our engagements. I would also want to thank very much Marie-Flo for the prayer. So it would also be nice for us to introduce ourselves, to know each other, before we can actually go to the real discussion of the evening. This evening, there is a launch of a book, and we are so happy that we are hosting our very own, the writer of this book, and we'll have some discussions with her, and I would really want us to be very attentive, because afterwards we shall have a few minutes for us to be able to ask her questions so that she can also really get some feedback from us. So I would open up the forum so that we can introduce ourselves, where we are at as we are doing this webinar, and also basically who we are, what we do. So the plenary is opened for introduction.
Greetings once again. My name is Claire Ahawe. I currently work in a communication agency, and I'm also a journalist by profession. Good to be here.
Thank you.
As I'm here, Omita, I can take also this advantage. My name is Mary Florence from Buginyumvira. I am working at Mariapolis Piero in communication office of Focolare Movement, and I work also with Radio Maria. Yes, and I'm happy to be here today to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Marie.
Hello, my name is Penina Washera. I work at UNIB Media TV, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Penina. You're welcome. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes,
Hello.
Mother, we can hear you.
I didn't hear the next person after Penina's introduction.
I see Grace is trying to speak.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me. I am Grace Murigi from Kenya. I am media and I am a media enthusiast and journalism enthusiast. I am involved with Valu Valu. Valu Valu is a media team that we create awareness on some things, peace building, and things that relate to the youth. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Grace. Isa, people would want to hear from you.
I am Isabel Gatti. I am from Argentina. My English is very bad, but I am happy for this moment with you in Kenya. I am the international coordinator NetOne.
Great.
Thank you, Isabella. Yeah, we are happy you are hosting us this evening. And it will also be nice to, I will let one person not introduce herself because I will introduce her. So not unless there is another person on board, but I'll request that our main special guest for the evening should not introduce herself. I will introduce her. So thank you so much. I hope we've been able to know most of us. As I said before, my name is Magdalene Kasuku. I am a journalist in Kenya. I've been working in the radio world for the last 20 years. Currently, I am working with an NGO, and what we are doing, we are advocating for the rights of children in Kenya. We focus so much on legal issues of children. When we talk about children, sometimes so many things happen to them, and normally there's no one who really is ready to fight for the rights of children. So we are trying to offer free legal aid to ensure that children can get justice here in Kenya. So you are all welcome for this webinar. And this evening is a great evening. Other than it being our anniversary, 25 years of NetOne, we are also blessed to have our very own, who is called Liliane Mugombozi. Liliane is one of us. She is a focolarina. And beyond that, she has decided to ensure that communication becomes part and parcel of her life. She is a professional journalist. She has a degree in communication science. This is a degree she got all the way from South Africa, from the University of UNISA. After that, she didn't feel like just a degree was enough. She advanced it, and she has also a master's degree in social justice and global development. This one she got from the St. John University, New York, but she was able to do this in the campus that is in Rome, the St. John University Rome campus. And today, as we are speaking, she has said that even the master's degree is not enough. She is trying to make sure that she climbs beyond the skies. And that is why this evening we are celebrating, because Lilian Mgombozi is a PhD student. She's progressing with her studies, and she has reached a point where she has a book. And this evening, we are actually discussing her book. And this book Can you hear me? Sorry for that. There's a phone that was coming in. So we are discussing her book, and her book this evening is about human communication and its sociological influences. Her main focus is really on socio-cultural issues. Very interestingly, she has really tried to look at the Central African countries to be able to really understand what is happening there. So it's a launch of a book, but we are also very happy and very blessed to have her in the house with us. I'm going to give her this opportunity to introduce herself better before I could start really asking her a few questions in relation to the book, Relational Human Communication and the Culture of Cohesion. Lillian, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Magdalene. Good evening, everyone. You've said already everything, and I really don't think there's anything that I can add, except that I'd like just to correct a little bit. The launch of the book this evening, it's not only my book, but a book that I co-authored with other 24 writers. And we wanted to publish a book on the 25th anniversary of NetOne with 25 authors. So it's a story, it's a history of impact, as you said earlier, except the fact that I'm not alone. Mine is a part of it. It's an article of my work I'm trying to do. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much for that clarification. Actually, from this, the main article that Lillian has focuses on relational human communication and the culture of cohesion. You are currently working on your PhD project, and you are trying to explore the role of relational human communication in fostering the socio-cultural cohesion in urbanizing Central African countries. What prompted
That's
you
right.
really in such a topic, especially focusing on Central African countries?
It was interesting, just like it was curiosity. I started getting curious because of the two factors that, because I'm also interested, as you said, in social issues, by observing, by also reading, by exploring the existing literature about Africa. I had an impression that many authors agree that Africa is one of the places that is being urbanized too fast. And another issue is the issue of technology today. So disruption in Africa is like exponential comparing to other places in the world. But then I was just wondering, as a communicator, where does this leave us? How are Africans today navigating these major changes? There are many, but I focus just on these two. But then being a journalist, as you said, a communicator, that I'm passionate about the values and especially the culture of unity. So I wanted to understand actually within all these major changes that are happening, how is communication faring, or better still, how is communication playing the role of bridging gaps and bringing people together? So one thing led after another. And then, of course, I consulted literature, as I said, and then listening to people now, experiences of the people. And so one thing led to another. And I found myself in the project of exploring a PhD thesis. I don't know if I answered.
Thank you. You've actually answered it very well. Could you share with us then some of your discoveries out of this research?
Yes. Very interestingly, I realized that I was struck, let's put it that way. I was impressed by the literature, starting with the literature review, the amount of work that has been done in this sense confirmed or made me understand that actually human connectivity, human cohesion is part of human being. Being humans, we look for connections, we look for contacts, we yearn. There's some authors calling it yearning for contact, yearning for relationality. And this was quite a big discovery. And then listening to people now through interviews, I realized that it's a need. It's a need of a human being to search for connectivity. And when it comes now to technology, I also realized, I was struck rather by authors confirming that even the interactive technology we have today is part of that yearning of human beings to be connected in somehow. Like today, this meeting today, this Zoom meeting, this webinar today is one of those. If you look at all you look at WhatsApp, you look at the major interactive technology that we have today is part of this answering this yearning. And now my question now was, now how is this helping us in becoming connected? How is this helping us in building a better world? How can it help us in building a better world? In a sense that communication should not remain like a technical thing. Let's put it that way. That's why I prefer to call it a human communication, relational human communication, because as human communication must only help us build relations, whether we are using technology, whether we are using our own self. This is how I discovered, and I thought we know it already. But I think what sometimes lack is to be aware, this awareness, this consciousness that every time, every act of communication actually must bring us into this, because we were done for this. We were made to connect.
Wow, we were made to connect. And you also say human beings are relational and human beings are communicators. We are meant to communicate together. So when you're speaking about the culture of cohesion, what are the recommendations for it so that we can be able to say it can be achievable?
Yes, I will. I can share this with a few things that struck me. First of all, as a communicator, I prefer to use reflexivity, so that I put myself into the position to interact with the interviewees. I put myself in the position to let myself be touched or be reached by the answers, the data collection. This is to enter into the thoughts, experiences, views, insight. And some of the things that struck me were the way people were sharing. Sometimes, like there are some students, university students, who share the consequences of non-communication. I don't know if I made it clear. A student told me, Madam, when there are no good relationships in my class, I fail my exams. Another one told me, in fact, when there are no good relationships in class, I am depressed. This made me think, some businessmen, now we are speaking of business across borders with all the problems we have in Africa. The other day, I'm sure you followed now what is happening at the border between Eritrea and Ethiopia. Those kind of things. DRC and Rwanda. We all know those things. But I got struck by some answers of some business people who they were telling me that actually in making business, they've realized that the first thing is not profit. The first thing that they think about is to enter into relationship with their customers. Even if sometimes the relationship is difficult with I don't know when there are some hitches, some difficulties. So I started pondering on this, and the recommendation should be to learn as we learn communication skills, to also learn how to get into relationships. Others were talking about vulnerability. In the beginning, when I started structuring the questions, I didn't think about vulnerability. And they were telling me to enter into contact, we need to look at the vulnerability. Human beings, we have our own ends. We'll not live here forever. So we can have some vulnerabilities, which we must also put into consideration while communicating. So the recommendation should be, while communicating, if we really want to establish a relationship, we shouldn't shy away from our vulnerability, our state of finiteness that will finish. And this has many implications. And of course, to finish, there's technology. Today, we cannot do without technology. But now technology should not be something that brings us to not be in this, not such, let's put that way. Technology should not be looked at as an end in itself, but as a means to help us to come together. So it will be part of social justice that everybody gets to use this means. So digital literacy should be part of education.
Thank you very much. Actually, as you're mentioning the name technology, we are in a world now that has evolved so much, and we are now moving from an era of just not being digital. There is the issue of AI. Yet in this book, you talk about the digitally disrupted world. Could you give us more light on this digitally disrupted world?
What we say disrupted is that technology has come and has changed the way we do things, the way we look at the world, the way we study, the way we do business, the way we learn and teach, the way we connect, the way we do politics, the way we... So the technology has come and has changed. This is what it means. In itself, it's not a bad thing. But the effects, we can have positive or negative effects. Now, when it comes to human relationality, human communication, now I repeat myself, as I said earlier, technology is to be embraced with responsibility, of course. But some respondents, some participants shared their views on this as well. They feel we must learn to infuse values in using technology, being responsible, like being a responsible African today, using technology. I must be able to infuse in my way of dealing with technology my values as an African. I even read about, there's an author who said, looking at artificial intelligence today and all the ethical issues around it, why not propose the values of Ubuntu and ujamaa, so that artificial intelligence can be looked at ethically from this perspective. Well, this is a viewpoint, but I don't think, actually there are a group of African authors. I don't think they are totally besides the issue. This is ethics for us is this communality to start with. And then I also spoke to religious leaders, for instance. Nowadays, we follow religious services online, isn't it? So where does this leave us? So technology is to be embraced, but with responsibility and values, if possible, so that we can connect as human beings. Remember, we are made to connect.
Thank you very much. As we continue connecting as human beings, there are these concepts that in Africa have been there very instrumental, especially in fostering the cohesion we are talking about. Words that you mentioned before, Ubuntu, Ujamaa. There is the culture of encounter. How can these concepts really contribute to the current situation of the Central African countries?
Yes. In fact, just to go back a bit, going back to my curiosity, because sometimes there was this, how can I put it? There was this belief, at least for me, and I'm sure you've heard it, maybe not you, but you've heard somebody else, Africa is changing. We are actually forgetting our culture. I don't know if it happens to you too, or at least you heard it once. So this too was kind of a curiosity for me. And what did I find out? Africans today, especially in big cities, because I studied the capital cities of all the countries of the Central African region, Africans today are actually navigating, Africans in the cities are navigating between the African culture and modernity. But they are not abandoning their culture. At least this is what I've found so far. It's like now it is changing. The way of living our culture is changing because conditions are changing. And this for me was very interesting, very, very interesting. I was not expecting this. And this is a matter of religion, for instance, in a matter of, as you said, communality. There's a lot of Ubuntu still going on in our big cities today, though in a different way. Maybe it is no longer only among my own ethnic groups, members, but it has become, as my respondents were saying, maybe my classmates, maybe in one town, there are like clubs of all people who were born on a Tuesday, for instance. They meet, and so, and they live this ujamaa among themselves in a way that they assist each other, as you know. Funerals, births, weddings, for us, it's a big thing. And that's where you see people coming together. So African culture is actually informing the way people are communicating for this cohesion. And I think it's a plus. It's a plus. And I realized, for instance, that my respondents did not really have any difficulty in relating to the themes that I was bringing up. In our conversations.
Wow, amazing. Relational human communication and the culture of cohesion. A lot of insights. I would really not want to continue asking so many questions because it would also be nice to open the plenary so that a few of the participants in this webinar can also ask questions. I can already see there's one from Sir Kelvin. So Sir Kelvin, please, could you ask your question? And if there's anyone else with a question, this is the open forum where we can ask our guest of the evening some few questions in relation to the book. Sir Kevin? If he is not around, you had already put up a question in the main chat saying, hello everyone. I have a question in regards to communication barriers. It still persists in the 21st century, and yet with globalization, we are still experiencing language barriers. As an expert in communication, how can we help address this? Maybe you could start with that question from Sir Kelvin.
Yes, yes. Thank you for the question. This is really interesting. As I said, no, I studied the cities, the capital cities. This research is based on the capital cities of the Central African region. This is Yaoundé in Cameroon, Kinshasa in DRC, N'Djamena in Chad, Bangui, Libreville, and Brazzaville. Libreville, Gabon, Brazzaville, Congo, Brazzaville. Interestingly enough, what most respondents told me, the barrier, language is not even so much a barrier, for now at least in the cities, because they told me they realized that, and you might be familiar with this, children, we grow up in a very multicultural, our cities are multicultural and multilingual. So children, we grow up interacting with other children from different ethnic group or different tribes. And actually, they found that this, at least in the African context, language barrier for now is not like a hindrance to creating cohesion. But there are others like discrimination, this one. There's barriers that come mostly from social backgrounds, rich, poor, and of course, now there's, as we said before, do you know that now the digital world, technology is now dividing people, exacerbating already the poverties that were there, you know, this digital divide. Because now when it comes to learn, if you don't have a smartphone, if you don't have a PC, you know, you don't have a laptop, if you don't, you might find yourself. So these are some of the things that are actually dividing people. And interestingly, the respondents in Cameroon and DRC, you will not believe what they come up with. I wouldn't have thought about it, like the structures, and here comes the politics. You know, the politics divides us a lot. And you also find the pollution. This I didn't really think about it. Politics, yes, but the pollution in the cities. These are things that are dividing people. Noise, you know, noise. Public structures, like public transports, because they stress. Yes, this is what I wanted to come up to. They feel, besides the poverty, besides in our situations, stress, you know, these stresses actually do not help in cohesion. This was very interesting.
Thank you very much. To the plenary, I don't know if there's any other question. If you have another one or two questions, you can ask Lily before we can come up to winding our meeting this evening.
Thank you very much. Yes, I have one question. First of all, I will just confirm what Lee has said about these countries that are crossing borders, and then we are made to connect. And here in Rwanda, I'm near my country, but there is no way to go there. It is closed. So it is really have here in our countries. Yes, communication, we communicate, but yes, there is asking also a lot, and yeah, and you find yourself there, and then maybe things are not communicated properly. You find yourself in a crowd of people together, but you don't really know what you. And as a communicator, as you find really yourself in difficult moment, how you can't communicate, and yet yes, we are made to connect, but also there is politics and poverty, all the kind of things that you can call in a negative way. But there is no way we can communicate. And then also now I come to my question, because we have now AI. This is all over, and we have to connect. Even those who are going to school to study, yes, they are now copying and paste. I mean, AI. I don't know, because even if you do a research, you go there, you find you have find the same thing. For example, there is someone who are writing on psychology, but they are doing masters, but they find that they copy and paste. Yes, they are busy, they work, and after they go in class online, but you find that they have copy and paste, and the publicity that is going out there with AI is like it is everything. Even now to read a book, I mean, a book, the things that are there, someone do a research and then write a book, and then you produce that book. But now my question, where because there is also courage in it. You do a research, you write a book, you put there, but you know that people, they are now they are no longer able to read and to go in book and read, take that time. You will find few people reading a book. So where did you find that courage? What is there inside, so that you do a research and then you publish, and then yeah, tell us something.
Well, Isa is there. I'm sure she's listening. You know, in our lifestyle, the way the way we try to live the gospel together, right? And we want whatever we do, we want our work, we want our study, we want all the aspects of our lives to be to have to be permeated, to have this. I mean, the gospel must be part of everything that we do. So, in a sense, that even this courage, if you call it that way, is a fruit of already these contacts. It's a fruit of this a sharing. You know, you meet with this community, NetOne community, and others. We share. We share our thoughts. We share. I'm sure you've also started in Kenya. We share our project. We share our, and then from this, you know, as you said, maybe you'll be tired of this. We were made to connect. And making this connection, something comes up. Something comes up, and maybe you even understand more what you're really yearning for, what you really what you'd like to do. And looking at all these things that you've also said, and as I said before, I felt it might be a very, very humble and significant contribution. Maybe it will not serve anything to, you know, it will not be of any use to anyone. But I felt this is something that I have. This is something, a gift, you know, discovering the importance of this closeness. Experiencing, if I can put it that way, the awareness of this being made to connect, and to say, okay, this is my small contribution. Because then after every thesis, there are recommendations. There are, like what you are saying now, we write it, for policy makers. On one hand, people, and you see the beautiful part of an empirical study is when you listen to people, you listen to stories. You're not sitting on your desk, on your laptop, and go and navigate. You actually listen to people. Africans want to be together. Politics is dividing us. So now our work as scholars is to tell these people, hey, politicians, our government, this is what the people want. They might not listen, but it will be there. It will be there, and who knows, maybe one day somebody else can come and look at it. But more, we can say, okay, this is our voice. Who knows? I don't know if I answered Marie-Florence.
Great. Thank you. You have answered very well. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Marie-Flo. I don't know if there's any other person with a question. Actually, when I looked at the synopsis of just the caption, you know, digitally disrupted world. You know, we are so digital. We have technology everywhere, but we are in a disrupted world. And it's quite a disturbing statement, you know. We are so connected, just the way Marie-Flo was trying to explain. You're so near home, but you can't reach home. We are all on social media, but most of the times we don't communicate. We are so far. Like we communicate to people who are miles away from us, but the people near us, maybe there is no communication at all. So it's really this digitally disrupted world making a lot of sense. And yeah, quite amazing, very nice insights. I wouldn't want to leave anyone else out. If you still have one more question, please raise it up. This is that opportunity for us really to also help Mugombozi to get some feedback about the book.
Hello, I'm Penina. My question is about media. So we've talked about how Ubuntu Ujamaa can be or is important to everyone. Yeah. My question is, how can we be able, we as media professionals, you know, we are in a world where there's war, there's conflict, and I'd like to know how we reporters, how we social media people, how we media people can be able to ensure that we reach people with the information, but do it in a way that it won't influence the people to continue with conflict or also the war. So how can we be able to like reduce the tension when such occurrence or such happenings are happening.
Thank you, Penina. You know, from my small experience, I would say I've always think and I've always experienced that it works. We use the powerful thing that we have, our person, our person, not personality, but our humanity, our human person. And that one actually, it actually goes much, much further than what we can think. In a sense that when when I became aware that I had to connect with the person from these viewpoints, all the fears, all the questions, actually, I started looking at everything within a perspective. I'll just share a very small experience. I lived in Kenya, by the way, for many years. And we all remember that attack in the north of the country where they attacked and they killed university students, especially first-year university students. It was a terrorist attack. We were living, our house was not very far from Chiromo. And I just went. I had to report. I was reporting for Cheetah Nova at that time. I left with my PS3, with my camera, with the idea that I had to shoot a few pictures. Now we reached Chiromo Hospital. You remember, it was really devastating for the parents who are coming from all over the country, and bodies were being flown to Chiromo. And I was there, you know how it is. There were media, international media all over, because this is what actually attracts us. And especially, you know, everybody wants to have the first news. Everyone wants the hot cake. I reached Chiromo. The first thing that I see, mothers collapsing when they are being shown their children. And I just felt, which right do I have? And you know what prompted me to think like that? There was a CNN journalist, I think, with a microphone, just waiting for that mother who have just collapsed, just waiting for her to wake up or to get up and answer the question. And I felt no. I felt something, really something. You know what I did? I forgot I was there for a piece of a news. I really forgot. I just packed everything in my bag, put my backpack on my back, and started working with the youth who were there to support, to give. There was Red Cross to give water. And I just sent a message to the newsroom. You know, I said, I'm not able to send anything today. I'm sorry. I feel as a human being, I need to process this suffering. I need to connect with all these families who have lost their loved one. Afterwards, I can give this experience now from my viewpoint. And this is what I did. And mind, I thought I was sending it only to Cheetah Nova, only to go and see that many other newspapers have actually taken my stories. This is just to give you one. This connecting from my person, from my humanity, from my being a human person, to the humans who will read your piece, who will watch you, this actually has helped me a lot, And that's why I really believe in this creating a bond of relationality, starting from our humanity.
Very, very powerful stories. Actually, when you talk about communication is more than just, getting a paper, writing the story, taking a photo. There is more to that. And you're bringing the human aspect of it, the dignity of people part of it. the cohesion we are talking about, you know, the socioeconomic, the socio-cultural issues. There are so many other underlying factors that will determine how we actually, at the end of the day, do the stories and the way we do them. Thank you so much for that. We really do appreciate, and we are grateful that out of this, you've been able to give us really an in-depth about this book. And I think I just can't wait to read it in person. I'm sure so many people are itching out there and wondering, can I get a chance to also be able to read the book? So I don't know, maybe I'll give this chance to Lillian to give her final remarks before I could welcome also Isa to give us how we can sign up on NetOne to be able to get an access to this book.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just to add on Penina's question, for some time, I mean, for a couple of years now, I've decided not to look at the deadlines anymore. You know, with our work, deadlines are really like killing, and especially today in a digital world. Now that even artificial intelligence is producing news articles, you know, so deadlines do not impress me anymore. Now I've dedicated myself whenever I really want to produce a piece, because I did press, I go towards more insights, to really take my time, digest a news that I hear, an observation, or even the current news, and represent it from my viewpoints. And this is strengthening my my convictions that even by doing our work, we can actually do it, because this rush, everybody must give the news first. I say even artificial intelligence now gives news. Why rush? I take the time to connect with myself, and then to connect with the people that I'm going to talk about, or to let the situation that is happening actually talk to me. And this has been a journey that I'm liking. I'm even liking my work even more than before. Final remarks, building human cities. Remember, I'm talking about the cities, right? Building human cities begins with the courage to communicate relationality, or relationally. So we can build when we have the courage to encounter the other, to establish this relationship. And it's something that we've experienced, but also research has confirmed it to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lily. We really do appreciate. I'm going to give the participant just a remark. Each could just say one word. Remember, today we are celebrating this silver, 25 years of NetOne Kenya. It's an achievement, and we are happy that through this celebration, we are also launching a book. And this book is a great one because it gives us insights about relational human communication and the culture of cohesion. And it's not just relevant for Central African countries, it's relevant globally. It talks volumes for us in East Africa. Lately, we've seen a lot of disruptions here and there, human communication, conflicts. So the issue of how we can have better cohesion is so key, so essential. And I think the book is so handy. It has come in at the right time. And I think sharing it and looking at it critically would be a way forward that could help us, even expand and see what more about this book and be able to share it with as many people as possible. So I'll just give each person each person has 30 seconds to say something. But what I know, we are all called up to sign up to the NetOne email. And the NetOne email is very simple. It's just the name NetOne in small caps, NetOne@netone.org. And I think Isa can be able to share with that something on the screen so that we are able to get it. Because when you sign up, we'll be able to, I'm sure Lily will share with us more about the book, so that at least even beyond this webinar, we can be able to, read the books. Thank you so much, Isa. So if you can check there, this is actually an image how the book, I think, eventually looks like or something. But there's the email there where we are all called up to sign up to the NetOne email, so that going forward you could also be able to receive more details, especially for this book and many other communication. Otherwise, I want to thank each one of you for creating time to really be part of this 25 years of NetOne. But also I want to take this opportunity to thank our very own Liliane Mkombozi. We say congratulations. It's not easy. We live in a world that, as Marie Flo said, there's too much copy and paste. There are no innovations. Creativities are dying because with AI, you just need to copy and you assume you've done it. But now you're actually challenging us as writers, as communicators, that really we still need to do more research. We still need to write books, and relevant books that can be able to help the community around us. So I take the challenge, and I'm sure everyone in this is also challenged. And I'm happy that they've been able to join us through from the beginning up to now. So please, I'm going to give each person just some 30 seconds before we can finalize and call it a good evening. Thank you.